All right, today we are going to be talking about solving two-step equations. Before we get started solving some different problems, I want to ask a question. What is our purpose when we are solving an equation? What is our purpose? Finding the unknown number. And how can we do that? We need to do what with the variable?
Take it out.
Leave it by itself. So, our priority, let's write it up to the top of our paper. We can put a little star. Priority. Isolate the variable. This is our top priority. We want to isolate the variable. So now let's take a look at this first example here. Before we look at the example, we know that our first step is to undo addition or subtraction. So first step. Our second step is to undo multiplication or division. First and second step. Two-step equations deal with two steps. So looking at this first problem, we have 3x minus 6 is equal to 12. Well, we need to undo subtraction, so we're going to add 6 to both sides of the equation. When we add 6, negative 6 and positive 6 make what? 0, so they cancel each other out. Now we're left with 3x is equal to 18. Well, we don't want to have anything next to x, and when they're next to each other like that, this means multiplication. So 3 times x, to undo multiplication, we need to divide by 3 on both sides. And now 3 divided by 3 is going to leave us with 1. 3 divided by 3 will leave us with 1. That's why it disappears. We're left with 1x. And so x is equal to 18 divided by 3, which is 6. To check our answer, we plug back in 6. 3 times 6 minus 6 is equal to 12. Well, 3 times 6 is 18. 18 minus 6 is 12. 12 is equal to 12. This problem checks out. So now let's do another problem on our own. The problem is 4y minus 9 is equal to 15. 4y minus 9 is equal to 15. So what is the first thing that I want to undo here? The subtraction. So what's the opposite of subtraction? Addition. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides of my equation. And negative 9 and positive 9 make what? 0. I can bring down my 4y. And 15 plus 9 is 24. That was my first step. Now my second step. What operation is happening between 4 and y? Multiplication. So I need to divide by 4 on both sides. And 4 divided by 4 gives me 1y. So I'm left with 1y is equal to, what's 24 divided by 4? 6. So we get y is equal to 6. So now I need to plug in 6 to check my answer to see if I get the same result. So 4 times 6 minus 9 is equal to 15. All I did was plug it back in. I'm evaluating my equation for 6. 4 times 6 is 24 minus 9. So 15 is equal to 15. Their answer checks out to be correct. All right, let's do another one. So we have 6x plus 7 is equal to negative 5. 6x plus 7 is equal to negative 5. So what is happening here? Addition and multiplication. What is the first thing I need to undo? Addition. So I'm going to subtract what to both sides? 7. So let's subtract 7 to both sides. Positive 7 and negative 7 make 0. So I'm left with 6x is equal to negative 5 plus negative 7 gives me negative 12. So same sign, add and keep. These are both negative. We add and keep the sign. So now I need to undo my multiplication. So I'm going to divide by 6 on both sides. And 6 divided by 6 is 1. So we're left with x is equal to, what's negative divided by positive? Negative. So negative 12 divided by 6 is 2. So we have negative 2. So now to check our answer, let's plug that back in. 6 times negative 2 plus 7 is equal to negative 5. What's 6 times negative 2? Negative 12 plus 7 is equal to negative 5. Different signs, subtract. So 12 minus 7 is 5. And we keep the sign the larger number. Negative 5 is equal to negative 5. Our equation is correct. All right, let's do another problem. Y minus 24 is equal to negative 7. All right, let's turn our voices off. So what operation here are we undoing? Subtraction. So we are going to add to both sides first, and we're adding 24 to both sides. And all we're left with is y is equal to 7 and 24. Are those the same sign or different? Different, so we need to subtract 24 minus 7. 17. Our larger number is positive, so our answer is positive. This problem is an example of a one-step equation. So 17 minus 24 is equal to negative 7. 17 minus 24 is negative 7. So negative 7 is equal to negative 7. Our answer is correct. All right. For E, for the next problem, we have 4E minus 9 is equal to 19. So I'm going to tell y'all a strategy, or you already know this is order of operations backwards, right? So we're undoing addition and subtraction, undoing multiplication and division. We're doing everything backwards. Now, there's a story I sometimes tell for those people that are not sure or they need another way to remember, all right? The acronym isn't working for them. So this may seem a little elementary to some people, but it might be helpful. So, Bob and his parents are at home. Okay? So Bob and his parents are at home. And mom and dad are like, Bob, me and your dad want to go out and have some fun, so you need to go to grandma's house across the street. Okay? So the street is going to be the equal sign. All right? So listen. The street is the equal sign. Mom and dad are the closest together, so 4 and E. And Bob is going to be this -9. And grandma's house is going to be across the street. She's going to be 19. So mom and dad, they're like, we're going on a date. Go across the street to grandma's house so me and your dad can spend some time together. All right? So the first thing we need to do is send Bob across the street. So, with that being said, how are we going to get Bob across the street? We need to do what with the 9?
Take him to 19.
We need to add 9 to the other side. So we're adding 9 to both sides of our equation. So -9 plus 9 gives me 0. I'm left with mom and dad. And 19 plus 9 is what?
28.
All right. Now, we'll say mom is 4, dad is E. Or we can, it doesn't matter which way you put it. One of them has to be the variable, one of them has to be the number. So, mom says, I want to have a girls' night. So, you need to go across the street to your mom's house so my girls can come over and we can hang out. Okay? So, how are we going to get dad across the street to grandma's house so he can leave? We need to divide what? All right, let's divide 4 to both sides. Now, dad is over there. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And we have E is equal to 7. So now we want to check our answer. We're done with the story. 4 times 7 minus 9 is equal to 19. Turn your voices off. And now we need to, 4 times 7 is what? 28 minus 9 equal to 19. What's 28 minus 9? 19 is equal to 19. Our answer checks out to be right. All right? All right, let's do another problem. All right, 6x minus 1 is equal to -67. All right, who is Bob in this case?
1.
Who's mom?
67.
Okay, and who is dad? And who's grandma?
7.
Where's the street at?
The equal sign.
Perfect, Israel, you got it. So, I need to send Bob to grandma's house so mom and dad can have some time. So, what do I need to do to get Bob to grandma's house?
Add 1.
Add 1 to both sides. So we're getting Bob over here to grandma's house. He's left the house. So now we are left with 6x is equal to, what's 67 plus 1? -66, because these are different signs. Subtract. Now how are we going to get, who needs to leave the house now? Dad. We could say mom is leaving too, because dad wants to have a game night with his boys, watch the game. So, how are we going to get mom or dad across the street? Divide by 6 on both sides. And so x is equal to -11, because negative divided by positive is a negative. And we have -11. Now we plug this back in to check our answer. We have -66 minus 1 is equal to -67. Negative 66 minus 1, same sign, add and keep. Negative 67 is equal to negative 67. Our answer checks out to be correct. All right, now I'm going to write down problems on the back here. I'll leave the problems up for you to solve on your own. Can you have me a piece of paper, please? Thank you. All right, listen up. Okay, so some of y'all want some points today. All right, the problems that you're going to do. And you can write them in the little boxes as you get them. So negative 9t plus 2 is equal to 56. That's the first one. Negative 69 is equal to 7v minus 6. Negative 27 plus 20w is equal to 73. So it doesn't matter the order it's in. Identify who's Bob, identify mom and dad, or just think about your operations you're undoing. So whatever way you want to do it, make sure you're undoing addition and subtraction first, then multiplication and division. 11r plus 60 is equal to 16. $13 is equal to 5 minus 8m. Give y'all one more problem. Negative 8 is equal to 32 minus 5q. So write these down because I'm about to... Okay. All right, do we have these problems down?
No.
Write them down. Don't solve them until you have them all written down because I'm about to turn the I'm about to turn this power. Why can't I talk? I'm about to turn the projector off. All right, in 5 seconds, I'm turning it off. You should have subtracted 50%. All right, and